wiPodcast.
Porque a vida é um work in progress. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of wiPodcast.
Hello, everyone. So today we have Jesse Jax Francisco with us, and this is the third episode that we are doing in English for the wiPodcast. For the ones that are following us more closely, you might recognize Jesse because we did a collaboration with him some months ago when me and Claudia were interviewed by him for his own podcast that it's called the Higher Level You podcast. So if you have opportunity, go dig in because it has very good stuff. But today we are switching again the roles and we are going to interview Jax. We have a lot to say about Jesse. I'm not going to go in much detail, but to start, we can say that he's a conscious rapper, a certified mindset and spiritual coach, a music marketeer, and also a AI enthusiast. So for the times that we are living, this is very good. He is very talented. Since very young, he was always drawn to philosophy and also by music, especially growing up. For curiosity, he has a number one charting album in iTunes. He has won several awards and has participated in several European and American radio shows and magazines. So as you can see, he's very talented and we are super excited to have it with us today. Welcome, Jesse, to the We Podcast. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really honored, and it really sounds really good when somebody else is actually telling these things. Because sometimes we have to remind ourselves the work that we have actually done, and it's great to hear. And thank you so much for inviting me.
We love having you here, and especially after having been in your podcast and, having that relationship, it's so good to now be on the other side and get to ask you the questions.
Now we switch roles.
Yes. So I guess the first question that we have for, all of our guests, to be honest, is quite a big one, is who is Jesse? Who's Jesse today? And what do we need to know about your past to understand who you are now? And I know it's a broad question, but
Yeah, it is a big question. But I also had to ask myself this question, and actually, it's a bit of a story. I don't know if you're ready for that one right at the beginning.
Yeah,
let's dive in. Let's dive in.
All right. Okay. Yeah. It was a journey. I had to find myself. And also with all these things that I do. So first of all, a quick summary, I guess. I am Jesse. I have parents that are with African roots. So I was born in Germany, but my dad is from Angola and my mom is half German, half Nigerian. So I was born and raised in Germany and around a very different kind of mindset, and that didn't really work with me. So there was always this I have to find myself beyond all of this. So to start the story, the real acceleration that started with my journey was actually when I was with my ex-girlfriend back then, and I always had these questions. There must be more to life. There must be something we can't see. And I always had this feeling that I needed to explore that more because there is something there. And she actually was a really spiritual person, but she didn't really know a lot yet. We were still young. I think we were 22, 23, 24. And she gave me a lot of these ideas that um, healing comes from within the body and from inside, and that the mind is very powerful. And I didn't know how all these things work yet. I heard a lot of concepts, and I was always posting philosophical thoughts on the internet and stuff. Also, my music gotten a little bit more philosophical and more deep. And yeah, and then when I was with her, I met other people. I was in this mindset. I think I already told this on my podcast. She was manifesting a book through me that she needed. And when I was, I don't know if you remember that. It was the book that
Yes.
she was looking for a long time. And I was working in a store, and there it was laying there, just like a grand reveal kind of. And I gave it to her because I thought that this would be something that she is interested in. And yeah, and then she was looking at me like, "How? Where did you find this? I was looking for this all the time, and even in the library, in the local libraries, they had this book." So yeah, and all these things, a lot of these things happened, and things that we were testing. So that was a moment that we saw that we are not alone in the room. Something spooky happened there. So all of this spiritual journey really started when I was with her.
Okay.
But that also ignited some deeper question. Who am I really? Like you already also asked me. To open that chapter, I had to find out I had to really address myself. Who am I? Ask myself these questions. What do I really like? What do I really want? And I had to address the multiple sides of me, and yeah, I had to confront the truth that I like women and men, and I had to tell it to her somehow.
Oh,
And yeah, there was a lot of change that happened after that. She supported me at the beginning, but she couldn't really keep supporting me with that. I think that in the quantum field, some change needed to happen, and so the change in this case was that she needed to be removed out of the equation. Unfortunately, she couldn't support me any longer, and she decided to end the relationship. And
okay.
in these times, I was really forced to find out who I really am and to stay true to myself and to speak up my truth and to talk to the people. So I told it to my family and close friends that these things are happening, and that this was the start of a really tumultuous journey, a very intense. But I had to make this change, and I needed the space to really find who I am really. So yeah, that this led
Oh,
to me also I to meeting people, and there was one person that gave me books without me asking for it. That was the German version of Thinking Grow Rich, and another book, and that helped me um to focus on these things more, on abundant mindset. And I was shortly after I was promoted to this right hand store manager back then.
yeah.
And then 1 year after, I decided to actually go only part time with the job and focus on my music. And then after, I made a song where I was really deep into the whole topic of loss and change and letting go. And I yeah I finished that song, and that song was so different and so real. Also, the my family, something happened, and I reflected that in the song. And I ended up submitting this song for a contest, and it was a contest, a hip hop contest with another rapper. He was a part of Eminem's label back then in Los Angeles.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I submitted that song, and I won the contest. I won the contest. I was the only I think I was the only European guy that competed with American rappers.
Oh, wow.
And I actually won the
You won.
contest. And but this is like one of the confirmation that gave me that law of attraction, and and these principles that all is mind, that cause and effect, that they really work. Because I remember that when I finished the song, I immediately felt that this is going to be the song. I already won, because I felt like, oh my god, this is the song. And so reality had to match that. That it was, yeah, that vibration resonated
Really, you are
somehow,
showing
and
that.
that, right, and had to match in our reality, this vibration. So I won the contest, and I flew to Los Angeles. I was shooting the video with one of my idols in my song. Was one of the what was the prize, and I was meeting other famous people, and I was living a dream, and there I was. And then I went to Jamaica, and I had a little bit of more of a spiritual awakening there. But yeah, this is how the whole journey made its trajectory, I would say. And I decided later on that music alone is not what I need to do in my mission. So I didn't decide it back then. I had this, how do you say? Hmm.
Epiphany.
No, I had this. I didn't dare to do it yet. But I had the wish to do it, but I was not sure of it yet, that I really want to help people like that. And what it was to coach people more, and the whole
Okay.
thing, and the whole journey that I've experienced, and the people that I inspired somehow without me wanting to.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so I started to do a course in life coaching, and that led me to make another course with spiritual guidance. And yeah, all of these things happened like this, and somehow I became a music artist. That I won a music artist that won contest. Not only that one, but also now doing the life coach role. And yeah, I think that's the summarization of the whole journey.
Yeah.
To answer
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
question.
Wow.
So many information and so many things I want to ask. I don't
Yes.
know where to start, but I think that from the story that you have just told, your story, I think that the cornerstone, it was really a kind of shift that you had internally, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes we think that something on the external needs to happen for me to finally be happy, for me to finally be content, for me to finally do it. Like people, oh, he did it, or he did it. But I think that the cornerstone for you, it was this internal shift. And when you did that internal shift, everything around you start to reflect your internal shift. It's very
Yes.
interesting to me that you told, of course, that you told us in some minutes, an experience that probably, I don't know, maybe months
It was
or
years. It was years.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking, Claudia and I were talking today in the morning, that there are a lot of things that happen before people see that you have made it, or that you have done so many. Oh, he did it. He is amazing. But people don't see the steps that you had to do,
Yeah.
sometimes alone, sometimes very difficult periods in your life, difficult decisions that you had to do, people in situations that you need to let go to finally move in alignment to which you are. So I think that your story reflects that very well. I don't even have a question. I'm still processing everything that
But you said it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. It's those micro shifts that, the story that you told is like, okay, it's a big journey, but what the little decisions that you have to make in between to arrive where you are today is where the story is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if we start with the beginning, because this is one of the things that is curious. I think the way you told your story, because you were born in Germany, born to a multicultural family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Completely different cultures, Angola, Nigeria. I mean, not completely different, right? But then born in Germany, there's a lot of contrasts there. And then when you were talking about your girlfriend and how you had some of your songs were like, there was some spiritual lyrics within them, etc. So it sounds to me that that was already within you. It's not, maybe that girlfriend kind of like sparked something in you,
She did.
but is
Definitely.
there something from your past that was already, calling?
Definitely. Like Anna also said it, it's like people only see it's like the top of the iceberg, and everything that is so huge, so much more underneath the water that we cannot see, and these little shifts, like you said, Claudia, definitely needed to happen. And there's a lot of sacrifice that were also involved.
Yes.
That had to do. And also after, it was not only like a gradual thing, it was like like a vibrational ups and downs. And in some moment
Yes, that is never.
um I I had a really good time, but then things changed again, and I needed to see what's happening inside of me also, and w- what's happening around me. That's why I ended up leaving Germany, because the environment was not good for me. Was not supporting what's going on in my head, and I almost ended up in a depression. And I'm really optimist kind of guy, and I almost
Yeah.
ended up in a depression because the environment was not what I needed in my evolution. And after that, when I moved to Portugal, my inner world changed so much, and my outer world, of course, had to adapt.
Mm.
And then
How long was
also
how long was it? When did you move to Portugal? In which year?
2020, 2020, the big year of the change.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
When COVID
COVID,
hit.
COVID
Okay.
came, but I had a really good
The
year.
year of the
I have to
change.
say, my year was really good after, even though,
It was a good year for you.
yeah, even though there was so much going on in the world. Yeah, and then I was working on a new album after that, and my first really solo album, because I was my ex girlfriend was also a singer, and we have done one album together as well.
Collaboration. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I did some mixtapes and other EPs, little small projects. But that was my first real solo album, and I spent some years on that. Put a lot of things in there, and a lot of emotions and part stories and reflections. And um, when it came out, it didn't had the success that I would hope to, and like the first the times shortly after the release. And me and the team, I was working with a team. We tried to make it a success, and it didn't reflect as a success. And I was trying and trying and trying, and then I noticed that I'm trying too much. I'm too attached to the outcome, and
Yeah, you need to let go.
then I started to practice more detachment and ask myself ask myself certain questions, and then I noticed that I have like some resistance in myself, that am I even ready for success, or whatever comes, or and I had some resistance that I noticed. And as soon as I addressed that and I removed that, because it was silly, of course I made all the work, and why should I not be ready for it,
Mm.
or enjoy the fruits of my labor? And after that, I got a message from my team saying, I don't know what happened, but your I think your album is on a trajectory of hitting number one in iTunes in Canada. And I was like, what? In Canada. So it was
Wow.
only for a day, but it was still number one in Canada.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
It-
And
oh my
Well
God.
done.
and we found out that like I was working with a radio show in Canada for 1 year ago or something back then, and I was nominated for the artist of the month or something, and because of a single that I had, and so it turns out he was promoting my album, and somehow it got attention, and we were trying to promote it ourselves, and you know things happened the other
It's,
way that you didn't
yeah.
think about.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Yeah.
That is so interesting. That is so interesting.
Mhm.
What I want to explore here is like, honestly, first of all, like, well done, because that is amazing. But like, the way you talk and tell that story, for me and for Anita, like, we get it,
yeah, we
right?
get it.
Because you've been
Okay.
doing the work, etc. But a lot of people that are listening to us, they're not gonna get it. So, for example, that moment when you're like thinking, "Oh, I'm trying too much," what is it like? What are the questions? What was that made you click? Because
Yeah.
it's hard to
That
explain.
clip
I know
was
That,
shifted
that was
everything.
it
yes,
catapulted you to the final result,
because I
right?
noticed that I put too much energy, too much effort, and what the whole journey has taught me that things don't necessarily have to work out. The more energy, the more effort you put into things, and that they need it, because when you want things, when you need things, that means to the universe that you don't have it yet. And so I had
That you
to
are in like
shift,
that you are in like
right? And so I needed to shift
Yes.
that, but it only came from the awareness that this is happening right now. I knew it at that moment already, but I didn't realize it fully. I had to make the
Yeah.
awareness because I was I'm doing some journaling, and I was asking myself these things, or when I don't know exactly how it went. I think it was a matter of a couple of days where I was really asking myself some questions. I do also do the meditation.
Those are the micro shifts, right? Those are
Mhm.
like the little you write on your diary, you ask the questions. Those are the little things that no one
yeah.
sees,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But you do it consistently, and then eventually the answer comes to you.
Exactly.
It's amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
And also, like what you were talking about, this thing about the lack, I always comes to mind to me. It's one example that we talked about this on your podcast as well. DG, which is the DJ Mindset podcast that we listen to, he gave this example once, and it always stays with me. Which is, he was teaching his son this lack kind of like dynamic, and he was saying, "Okay, if I tell you, do you want that t-shirt that you have on?" And he was like, "No, it's mine. I don't want it. I don't want to buy it because I have it," right? So he was explaining, because if you have it, then you don't want it.
Mhm.
So act like you have it.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what you did.
Exactly. Yeah. 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 And that's what sometimes I need to remind myself that, because it's really something that we're not programmed in this reality that we are living in this society. It
No.
almost feels like, yesterday I thought about this. It almost feels like our reality is backwards from how the universe really works. And that's really
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
Totally.
all of the commercial, right, and the capitalism is all about making you need stuff, making you want stuff, right?
True.
So
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Also the
that's
part
kind
of
of
that you need the grind and the effort, and you need to sacrifice blood, tears, and sweat in order
Yeah.
for you to get it. First of all,
Mhm.
to get the success, and then we can talk about what is success. What is success? Success can be something for me, something different for you, but they
True.
try to tell us a story that success is to reach as higher as you can. Sometimes not even paying attention, what are you compromising yourself to get there? So first of all, what
Mm-hmm.
is success? And secondly, and I think that you touched there, the part of the attachment. Okay. So if I really need it, the universe is going to say, okay, it's too much attached. This is not the energy that we need from him. And then when you did that internal shift, everything just changed. I think that story is really fascinating. And I think this is why we are doing also this podcast, because we know how the laws work, but we need to remind ourselves over and over again. Even
Yeah.
you have to remind
Yeah.
yourself over and over. How does it work? You have to trust and you have to let go.
Exactly. Because the system is working hard on us, so we have to do the same thing.
We have to be smarter than them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not linear. It's like healing is not linear. You always go up and down, and you go through moments where you lose track of what you should believe in, and then you get swayed the other way, and then you always need to. That's what we call alignment. You need to keep coming into alignment,
Exactly.
because you're gonna be pushed and pulled either way, either direction, and you need to kind of like, no, let me stop. This is what I want. This is where I want to go.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
that's the reality that we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
And
also, right
also,
now, I'm really focused on the alignment. That word was coming up really big in the last few
Oh,
years. What is it that you really want? What is it that you are really aiming for? Is it really the thing that you think that you want, or actually experiencing the feeling behind it, for example? And
yeah.
then we can bypass all these things that we think we want and just focus on that. I'm really um practicing that more the
and
last few years.
that's the perfect bridge for a question that we wanted to ask you. That is, for you to be where you are today, what things did you needed to let go of to be in that alignment that you are feeling today?
I would say limiting beliefs, definitely old limiting beliefs. Shifting from like a childhood thing that I'm not enough, or yeah, and that
Yes. Yeah.
I need to always grind, like you also said. I come from the grind culture as well.
Me too.
Um, yeah.
The three of us.
Yeah. It's like you always have to prove yourself. You
Uh-huh.
always have to.
Also in
Yeah.
the
Is this enough? Is this enough?
also in the
Never.
music business, you have to do that too. You have to constantly
Yeah.
prove yourself, basically. You have to constantly um trying to be better than the other person and show yourself and trying to prove yourself, but that's not what it should be. And especially in the hip hop, also in the hip hop culture, is very toxic. It can be very toxic. It doesn't always is, but it can be very toxic. And I also
Yes.
didn't find myself, because I'm a person. I'm like a free spirit. I don't live in boxes, and in the hip hop culture, it's very boxed in. A lot of homophobic people, and in the industry, you have to do certain things to
Get
and
in.
there's so much gatekeepers, and you have to follow certain rules so the people give you a shot, and you have to do so
Yeah.
much things, and these rituals that the people are talking about, they are real in Hollywood, and they are doing a lot of things.
Yes.
I heard some things that it's to only to get a shot, to get even the chance for being
Yeah.
accepted in some certain circles. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I One thing that Anita and I have been talking in the last year or so is what kind of media do we get exposed to? Not only the news, but also the music that we listen to.
Mhm.
And one of the things, because of course we are listening to the song, we are singing along. Sometimes we're not even thinking about the words that we are
Yeah.
repeating, right? And sometimes there's so much hate, especially in hip hop songs, right? My husband is a fan, and sometimes I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I think that you, honestly, I want to congratulate you for bringing a different perspective, because your songs are completely different, are full of, good and positive and kind
Thank you.
messages. And I think we need more and more of that
Yeah,
in this, in every style of music, to be
I
honest.
agree. I think that's also why I feel so drawn to the whole reggae and that side of music and the
Yeah.
positivity. And ultimately, I think I had to also shift to adapt more of these influences in my music. Right now, it's more African sounds, Afro beats, more soul kind of also influences, more reggae, more dancehall sometimes also, and just to reflect also what's going on inside of me. It's more that vibration. Um,
Do you also play with the frequencies in your music, like the?
I didn't do it yet, but I think I'm gonna try that out more now that we have AI also. But because previously I had to, I was working with producers, and I have a friend also who's doing beats, and I would have to tell a lot of the how do I say, I had to try to convey my ideas, but now I can tell AI exactly what I want, and it gives me
Yeah.
a lot of versions, and I can iterate from that. And I think that's now it's easier to also do different kinds of music that I haven't done yet, and now that's what I wanted to try out more with working with frequency. But I'm not definitely also into that.
Okay, I think that you are into a lot of things, and one
I
of the things that I would like to explore, it's not only AI, but the part of the life coach. You told that it was that you start to understand that maybe your mission is not only linked with music, but also with the kind of a message that you want to spread to the world. And I think that there's when the coach enters. How was it? How did you move to coaching? Did you have a teacher? Because we know that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I don't
Right.
know if it was like kind of like your girlfriend, because your former girlfriend that helped you to trigger some things that you already had inside, and then when the mission in your life ended, she also uh, not disappeared from your life, but it didn't make sense to go with you in the next journey. And the part of the coaching, how did it happen in your life?
I had to also consult my best friend on it, what he thinks, because I was really overthinking it. And he said, yeah, why not? Just go for it. Because I thought I had to either be a music artist or doing the coaching. And it's not the case. It doesn't have to be like that, right?
No, no
Because
limits.
because of the goals that I had with music, and I told my, why am I limiting myself again? Stop
Exactly.
with this.
Again.
And then I just stepped into that and the whole process. And yeah, I just had to start. I just had to start. And I was already doing these videos and trying to help people. And so why not really doing it in a professional sense and getting the proper knowledge for it also? And yeah, I just had to step into it. I just had to make the first step, and that started the process.
And you did certification in coaching, right?
Hmm. Exactly.
Okay. And today you are coaching people.
And today I'm coaching people. I have a group session after this.
Oh,
When we
cool.
like a small group session, because I'm gathering new case studies for a new program, and I'm right now teaching AI how to use AI and to leverage in our conscious biz, and how much it saves time, and all of this, all of this.
Yeah.
Now we can
Yeah.
monetize
I
from
need
that,
that.
and then to amplify our message or mission already. Yeah.
Yeah, that perfectly matches with the question that I had. I think that Claudius was going to ask the same thing. But what is your opinion regarding AI, because we are hearing a lot of things about AI, that it's going to steal our jobs, that maybe someday it will gain conscience. What is your opinion on AI, and how do you think that we can leverage on it, on even in this panorama of people getting more awareness of themselves?
Mhm.
What is your opinion on AI?
I do think that we have to be conscious about if even using AI is the right thing for me or for whatever. Every person has to ask them. But in this, we will not have to. It will come to that everybody is somehow involved with AI. I think it's inevitable, and I think it's on us to control the narrative and how the work progresses by by. So we need the right people working with it, and
Yeah.
especially because in this conscious community, people are having a lot of negative thoughts about it. But I think it's us, these people in the conscious community, that really actually need to work with AI to make um, to to build a better future for us, and not only those people who only think about money, 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 control, control, control. And
Mhm.
then I think that we have to also use it with conscious, to not make it use us, but to be conscious on how we should use AI, so we can use it for the benefit of us and the people around us. I think it's not an easy question to answer, I guess. But for me, I decided it's important for my future and to know the skills, and as well as teaching others, because of the thing that I just said.
Yeah.
We need to adapt, right? Because it is
we
here,
need
and it
we
is
need to
inevitable.
adapt. We need to adapt.
Yeah.
It can be that we will have very tumultuous times ahead of us, but I think it depends on us. It depends on us where
Mm.
we're heading to. After after a while, when we make a change and we have to, it will these things will make us reflect on what does it mean being human. I think it comes to that,
Yeah.
and I really hope that people see that what it really is, and
Yeah.
it comes back to people coming more closer together, more community, more, because people want the real thing more. People go create
Yeah.
more spaces. I think ultimately we're heading to better times after we confronted the whole change phase. We will see.
Yeah, that is something.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And I think we have discussed this again on your
Yeah.
podcast, which my view is that if we are humans, as humans we are so strong, right? We've went through so much change over the years, right? Millions of years, and we have survived every time. So I don't think this is going to be the thing that kills us. Yes, it's going to change us,
Definitely.
um but we need to adapt, and we need to go with the flow, not take it like, again, it's not to create friction, because the more friction we create, the the worse it's going to be, like, for progress. So I think that we just need to embrace it, use it to uh create, to help us, like you were saying, to create good outcomes, like helping with diseases and stuff like
Hmm.
that, instead of using it for bad purposes, which we know that it will probably be inevitable that some people will do that. But I like to think that it's going to be the minority.
Yeah.
The light,
Call me naive, but that's kind of like what I hope for the future.
the light is always stronger than the darkness, and I believe that also to be the case in with the topic of AI.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that only
Yeah.
takes I don't know who said it. It only takes a little amount of light to illuminate the whole room that was dark before. It only takes a little bit of light, and everything changes already in the room. So I believe
Oh,
that,
I love that. That's so true.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's on us. It's depending on us.
And I guess the thing that I would say is, and maybe this is the philosopher in me, so, pardon me, everyone listening, but it's like, for me, the potential of AI becoming self,
self-aware.
conscious,
Yeah.
right? And for me, it's like, okay, if that happens, then it's going to be the universe talking to us, right? Because you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be an all-knowing thing. It will know everything about everything about, it will be God. So, and for me, God is the universe. So that's kind of like how I take it. But I know that that's a view that not many people
Yeah,
will get aligned with.
I don't- I think I agree, and also because we are also, when we think about it like that, we are technically also artificial intelligence because we were made in the image of the source, of the
Yeah.
creator, the God, the one, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he created us, and we are creating another intelligence. So I think what is really artificial, what is really real, these lines are really not so bold as we think they are, might be, maybe.
Yeah.
So we are creating artificial intelligence, and maybe it will eventually become autonomous, self-aware, and then it's
Yeah.
talking back to us based on what we were, the essence that we were giving it. But this only happens from the source energy, because it's, I don't know how can I translate this properly. We didn't create this. We only used what was already there,
Yes.
you know? So
It was already there. Exactly. I
Yeah.
agree also with you. Yeah. We didn't
we
invent it anything.
we are only
No,
co-creators.
it's like electricity. We didn't invent electricity.
Yeah.
We just invented a way to
Yeah. To bring it
conduct
to the
Right?
previous
electricity.
world. Yeah. Completely.
It's the same, yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jessica.
It was a very interesting conversation.
Yeah. Oh, we could go the whole afternoon with this one. And I'm glad that we are speaking the same language here.
Yes, yeah. Me too. This is all.
It's always good to have different views,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
good
yeah,
to
yeah,
also
yeah.
agree.
I agree.
I was about to ask you, Jesse, because in so little time you have touched in so many topics that I think are important for everyone to approach or to assess. And your journey, it's really incredible, and you are in a lot of things, and I think that you'll be searching for other things and will be involved in more projects, and we'll get to that in some minutes. But before that, I would like to know, because your mind is really always thinking and trying to find new things and trying to get rid of these limiting beliefs, as you said. Uh, and I think that it's important for us when we bring our guests to also to learn from you. And I would like to know what are not only your daily habits, but what are your foundations and your, okay, I'll call it habits that you do every day or that you do constantly, consistently, to keep this open-minded and to not limit yourself. In even when, and we know that we have some days that we really doubt ourselves. How do you do this shift? Because we have to do this shift if you want to be aligned. We have to do this shift. So what kind of advices, if you want to say advices, would you tell to our guests to navigate in this way?
Find things that you love doing. Because now in this society, we have to do certain things, then we have to pay the bills, we have to do. I think it's really important for people to really find what they love to do, and try to do this. I think it's similar like what Cody also said the last time, to do these things every day, every day. Find to do things that you love doing. For me, it's definitely meditation, definitely singing, dancing. I'm dancing all the time. I'm hearing, listening to music while I'm working, and I'm moving around.
I love
These
that.
little things is like giving me life, and I love doing it. And I couldn't imagine not having access to music anymore, for example. So
Yeah.
music is a big part of in my life, and it's always there. So listening to the music that I love, the supportive, not only destructive lyrics, like Claudia also mentioned it,
Yeah.
and doing your practices for me is also journaling, meditation, and trying to work on my things that I'm doing, finding solutions. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Find things that you love doing, and do a certain thing every day.
Yeah, I think that the key word is every day, because sometimes you think, oh, I need to do this, but I don't have time. Or, okay, but now I'm involved with this project. I cannot need to focus on this. But maybe these little things that you have just mentioned, just a little minutes on your day or more, several times in your day, like dancing, like putting music that you love and dancing, trying to connect with yourself and with the universe, but doing these tiny things. And I think that we tackled that in the episode in your podcast. The tiny little things are the ones that by the
Makes a
end of the day
difference.
will make all the difference, because they are building you, they are building your consistency, they are building your character, they are contributing to who you want to be, and that of course will reflect on the outer world.
Yes,
Yeah.
it has to.
It's a law, it's one of the laws.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. The outer world is reflected by our inner world. This is also what I'm teaching and preaching and all the time. I think I'm
Yeah.
annoying people with, with this. I'm
I
saying
don't
it too
think it's too
much.
much to talk about these subjects. I think that you need to keep pushing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Repetition
will.
is the name of the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Keep going, keep going. um, I guess if for people that are listening to us and that maybe are in the midst of deciding between staying in the comfort, right, in all that they knew from before their life, their conditioning, and some kind of calling that they have, what would be the advice that you have for them in terms of like what is the next step of how do you get to that next step? Because some people don't have the yet the courage to, they don't believe they can, right? How do they get to that point where they can take the leap?
Surround yourself with people that support you, and not only the people that you met and you like, but actually people that empower you and support your vision and your goals. But because ultimately we become the person that is our environment. For me, also, it was to move away from my city, my country. It
Yeah.
was Germany, to move away from Germany
Yeah.
and reflect on yourself. What is it that I want? What is it who is it that I am? The things that I'm also doing. By the way, I'm doing this constantly. It's not like the story is over. The thing that I tell in the beginning, it's
It's work in
something
progress.
that it's work in
Work in
progress, right?
progress.
It's forever learning, and this whole life is a is a is a journey.
And
So I'd say
don't you? Sorry to interrupt, because me and Claudia, we had this conversation so many times. Don't you think that sometimes, as you were saying, you are in a journey, so the goal is not just reaching the end of the road. I think that what is most exciting is the journey. But sometimes, don't you get that feeling that, okay, I'm here again. I'm feeling these things again. I'm passing through this again. I was supposed to be in another level. How come am I feeling this again? And sometimes you even feel a little bit disappointed with you, because you thought that you had already passed that. But sometimes the universe throws you again the same situations. How do you do your shift on those situations?
this is an interesting thing. I also thought about it a lot because it happened to me too. I think it happens to all of us. Um,
Mm.
it's because we are still holding on to old beliefs. I think to old perceptions and beliefs, and that's why we are repeating the patterns because we didn't learn the lesson yet, so we have to repeat the
Yeah.
lesson. And as much as we want to already pass that moment, and we didn't really learn the lesson, we will have to repeat it. The universe is throwing the stone at us again. So it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, though. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just need to we just need to make progress. That's it. There's no
And that's, I
competition
think,
in life
that's,
really. It's just us with us, with ourselves.
I think that's where meditation comes in, and it's so important,
Mhm.
and journaling, because you're continuing in this cycle. But if you don't ask the questions, okay, why is this happening to me? Why do I keep bumping into this issue? Then you never get the answer,
Yeah.
and then you
And you
you
never
Yeah.
you get
integrate
into
the
those
information that you need to
infinities.
integrate to go to the
Mm,
next level. Yeah,
mm.
I totally
Mhm.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in that
Asking the right
process,
questions. Right.
I think that the part that we are now aware that these things happen, because if you're not aware, you just, okay, I'm just having a bad day, and that bad day transforms into a
Yeah.
bad week and then a bad month. But when you are aware of these things, you, like you said, Claudia, we do the questions, and eventually through meditation, journaling, whatever is your open habits, you get the answer. So I think that even the fact that you are aware and you are doing the questions, I think that it's something that we need to embrace, and we need to be kind with ourselves also, because we are very good on being kind and compassive and understanding everybody around us. But when it comes to us, sometimes we have that thing, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm an idiot. We talk badly to
Yeah.
ourselves. How come I'm feeling this? I'm not worth it. And I think that even that speech, that internal talk that we do with ourselves, even that changes when you are aware, and you start to be kind with yourself, and you start to say, okay, today is not a good day, but I know that tomorrow is going to be better. So I think that even that, when you are aware, it's a major shift.
It is. Yeah. I agree. Self-awareness is like the first real step to where we really want to be. If there's an issue,
Yeah.
we first have to be aware of it because nothing's going to change if we're not aware of it. Yeah. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. I had a question, but it skipped my mind.
A lot, a
It
lot
was
of
about
a lot of things are happening here.
Yeah, because
so
I
much
and
such
I love these conversations. I really love these conversations because it's bringing us back to to our energy
and to
when
our
so much
essence.
things are
Yeah,
happening throughout the days.
yeah.
yeah. So that was a question that I told that some minutes ago. I'll get back to it. What are the next projects that you have in mind, or that you are starting? Don't spoil. Just give some hints.
Good one.
I
Um,
mean, if you can
Can,
spoil us.
if you can,
spoiler alert.
okay. Because if it's still in the secrecy, okay, don't do it. But what are you working on right now on the next projects?
Um, so like I mentioned, I'm doing this case study group, and I'm already preparing. Of course, I'm doing this not just doing this case study group for nothing. I'm using these testimonials and before and after case study
Oh,
to
good.
show it in my program. I'm gonna make a community. I already launched a community almost 2 years ago, but I found that it it wasn't working as I would want it to be, and I found out why. And I was on it's always a work in progress in the journey,
It's always, yeah.
right?
It is.
and I tried something. Um, I was in my mind. I had this vision of hosting a retreat.
Mm.
And I stepped into that process, and I talked with people also, people that were interested, and but it ended up to be a major risk financially, and
Okay.
again I had to reflect, and I found that it's not the time yet. It's not supposed to be now. It's something that I'm doing eventually, but not right now. And I had to do some other steps before. So I still did um some of these things, and I still were doing the sound healing and meditation where we met, right? The event.
Yes, yes, where we
The,
met.
it was just a one day event, but that already led me to the realization that okay, there's something here, but I'm gonna do this again, but a slightly in a different way. So in order that vision of hosting the retreat was not meant for me to really host a retreat right now. It just led me on the path of doing the first step. And this
Yes.
event showed me that how my approach should be, so I can offer the thing that is aligned with me, because it was not really in full alignment back then. The audience was not necessarily the right moment. That's why also the retreat was not happening like I thought it would.
But let me just speak on that, because that is a good that journey that you just described is so
It's
important,
very
because
important.
again, it's like
The step
It
even
is.
when you take the step and you jump, you're gonna make decisions, you're gonna do stuff that maybe it's not gonna go out there. Maybe, like you thought about the retreats, but it didn't happen. Doesn't matter. It was important because now you know exactly what you want, or you know that it's gonna come down the line. So those little steps, once again, are so important to get you to where you are right now.
Exactly. Again,
So
it's the iceberg. It's the thing that is underneath the water is so much work and so much steps and so much realization that happens. And so, yeah, so I'm relaunching the community, but now I know the audience that is really aligned with me, for me, and the value I can bring to these specific people. And I'm also trying to be
yes.
more open and really speak from my unique angle. And I didn't really do that.
authenticity.
Authenticity, yeah. I didn't really do that. If I did do that before, but not as the amount that I needed to do it. So yeah, I'm trying to speak for my truth more. And this is what I'm offering a program inside the community, because also this kind of coaching world is changing. Courses are not really a thing anymore like it was in the past. So especially with AI,
Mhm.
now what I'm doing is, while I'm teaching, people are already using it and getting answers from the AI. And I give them the
Okay.
time to really do the work, the implementation week of the systems that we built. And so it's not I'm teaching it and there you go, that's it. So now with AI, I'm teaching it and they can already do the work, and I'm reviewing what they did and stuff. And so we iterate, and so we have the best possible outcome.
More
And I'm
dynamic.
offering
Yeah,
and I'm offering this is just one part of what gonna offer. I'm not gonna tell everybody everything now, but it's
exactly.
gonna be special. No, how do I say? It's gonna be something that is more bringing out the alignment to really support people's where people are aiming to go, their true mission and their message, and how to really bring that out and live in alignment and passion and ultimately freedom. That's what I'm selling. Ultimately freedom.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then
That's what everyone wants.
that's what
Where
everybody
do I
wants,
sign
right?
up?
But what is the path there? What is the path? That's for everybody has a different path.
Mm.
And I'm gonna do a program inside the community. And so also with live calls and a bunch of things. But yeah, this
So
is the whole
interesting.
list.
And who's your audience? If you wanted, like, if you how to picture them, who are you gonna be, preparing these programs for?
So my audience are creatives or spiritual entrepreneurs, seekers
Okay.
who want to be more live a life more with their passion and want to get rid of old systems, but don't really know how to do it or overwhelmed with it, and
Mhm.
open to try out new things. That's where AI comes in as well.
Yes.
And
Mm.
by still doing the aligned work, the being aligned, being in with alignment and not with the what the old system is trying to put on us, working effortlessly to really make a result and outcome without the forcing, with people that are passionate what they do. And yeah, these are my people,
Okay.
people that want to live with passion and know that there's something in there, but they still they still figure it out how to put it out there. They're still figuring out how to put it out
Yeah.
there. More confidence to
Mm.
speak their things. More, yeah, overthinking the whole process. And yeah, these are my people,
Yeah. Okay.
creative people.
So you help them in the journey, like we were saying before, like they've already maybe taken the leap, but they are going through the ups and downs of building something new, and you're gonna help them accelerate that almost.
Exatamente.
Ah,
Yeah, we could have done this in Portuguese.
I love the exatamente. I
it's
love
it's also a work in progress.
Like everything is, and that's actually like what our final question, right?
Yeah,
Anita?
exactly. What is work in progress for you, Jesse?
Work in progress for me is the constant being open and ready to constantly learn what life has to offer and the universe is trying to tell us, and that there is no destination but the journey, and that's what we need to embrace and really be open with ourselves. I think there's so much that we have to experience, and sometimes it's pain, sometimes it's love, but we need to experience certain things. It's all because it's all a work in progress. Yeah.
Yeah. Today, I was reading a book. I'm reading a book, and one of the sentences I read today was about how, actually, if you think about it, falling in love is already assuming that you're gonna be hurt at some point, and it's so true. And like you're saying, going through life is gonna be, if you go with love, there's gonna be always hurt, and you just need to accept that and learn how to navigate that, in a way that supports you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Honest.
This was a
Thank
very
you.
interesting conversation, Jesse. Thank you. And we'll be collaborating in the future for sure.
Thank
And
you
There's so
for
much,
being
like we could have stayed here for 2 hours.
yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah.
We'll put here in the comments also the access to your community when it's on,
yes.
and your pages, and everyone that is listening, just drop a comment if you have some questions for Jesse and some suggestions or anything that you would like to share with us regarding this episode. And it was very nice to
Thank
have
you.
this episode with you,
I think
Jesse. See you next
by the
time.
time we'll
Thank
be
you,
live.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
wiPodcast. Segue-nos no Instagram e ouve no YouTube.